Welcome to the Author Spotlight Show, a platform dedicated to celebrating remarkable women who share their purpose and their passion to make a difference in this world. My name is Gail Watson. I'm founder and CEO of Women Speakers Association, a global community of women who use their voice to powerfully inspire others. Today, we're talking about a brand new book that's out. It's called Voices of the 21st Century Women Empowered Through Passion and Purpose. This book features extraordinary women from various backgrounds and walks of life who share how their message has merged from their life experience. With the passion and purpose, these stories will inspire you to embrace your own power, break barriers, and create a better future. These women are a collective testament to the strength and collective voice of women in shaping the world in which they envision. So today, you're not going to want to miss this conversation, that's for sure. We're going to speak to co author of Voices of the 21st Century Women Empowered Through Passion and Purpose. And if you have ever felt like life can sometimes throw just a little bit too much your way and wondering how to overcome those obstacles, you're going to want to lean in and listen to this amazing woman. So please join me in welcoming best-selling author Dr. Lia Abney. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Super excited to um, chat with you today because wow, do you ever touch on a on a story that we're going, hello, yes, life does throw a lot our way. Because you share your story titled From Setbacks to Success, Building Strength Through Persistence. So let's talk about what inspired you to share this story.
Absolutely. Just like anybody else that has gone through challenges in their life, I had found myself going through a challenge as I had found myself in 2009 going through a divorce. And anybody that has ever had to go through that journey knows it can be very challenging. Whether you're a male or a female, there's a lot of emotions that happens. There requires some new self-discovery about who are you now outside of that title of wife and mother.
I see. And so when uh, when you were writing this story, I mean, we look at you right now. You mean you hold your PhD, you have a successful business, you get featured in various magazines. I mean, you have the perfect life.
It appears to
It,
be that way.
yeah.
But again, it doesn't come without those challenges. And self doubt is one of the things that I was really challenged with. And so in writing this story, I wanted to share it because like I said, so many people go through a time in their life, no matter what the life event is, that they may find themselves doubting themselves, not feeling adequate in different areas of their lives. And I have found myself there, and I just knew that I needed to do more because I was now a single parent. And we know the statistics when it comes to single parents, trying to achieve things and making a life not only for themselves, but for their children as well. And I didn't know where to go. I didn't know how to start and what I was going to do. I didn't want to feel as though I was a failure. So I knew I had to persist and I had to push beyond what I was feeling emotionally. I couldn't let it stop me. And I know some of you are like, well, how do you do that? And one of the things is that I really had to sit down and just take a self assessment of where I was at that time emotionally. And I had to acknowledge those emotions, which I believe is the key thing. A lot of times we're told that we're not supposed to feel a certain way, we're not to have certain emotions, but by acknowledging them and understanding what it is you're feeling at that time and moment, it helps you to be able to settle your mind about what you're feeling at that time and to go through those emotions instead of holding on to them, bottling them up, and then you find yourself really in a deep, dark place. So one of the things I did was I acknowledged, hey, I am very frustrated. I feel angry. I even let out a big scream one day, and just letting that emotions out at that time allow me to say it was okay for me to feel the way that I felt. And we also understand in some communities, guess what? Looking for a therapist is sometimes is not acceptable. Even today, we're still trying to talk to people to seek help. But I can tell you that was one of the best things I ever made a decision about. Once I acknowledged the emotions, the next thing I did was, and I took accountable of how I was feeling at that time. The next thing I did was I also assessed what did I have available to me as far as resources and where I wanted to go next. And I started looking at some of the things that I probably want to achieve, but because I was married, I didn't achieve those things. And one of those things was getting higher education. I had my master's degree, and I was like, Leah, what better way to rediscover who you are and what you want to do by going back to school and getting your doctorate degree and be an example for my children of what they can pursue as they are achieving and walking on their own journey. And so that's what I did. But the most important thing I did was I found somebody to hold me accountable for what I was doing, hold me accountable for my emotions and how I was feeling, how I expressed myself, but also accountable for wanting to achieve things in my life and not give up. Those three things end up being very essential tips and just methods that I use to help me along the way.
Well, you definitely get when I read your title, From Setbacks to Success, Building Strength Through Persistence. You are persistent. You have the attitude to do that. Now, let's talk about what you're doing, because I mean, how is this new you, or this persistent you, how does that show up in your world today? Because you do have a business that helps people.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And this is the great thing about rediscovering yourself, doing a self assessment, identifying and just acknowledging how you're feeling at that time is you will discover that you have new passions and you feel that you have a new purpose in what you're supposed to be doing with your life. And through that process, I discovered that I was drawing a lot of people around me that were also feeling the same way. And a lot of times they're like, like two peas in a pod, you kind of attract the people. Sometimes it's always viewed as a negative thing when that happens, but also there's some positive things that can come out of that. Again, I found myself drawing others towards myself, and I found that they were actually seeking me for information. How did you do that? How did you get out of that mindset and that situation to do what you do today? So I started connecting and finding other resources. Again, that accountability person comes in two forms for me: a mentor and a coach. I made sure that I had both in my life. Why? The mentor often has the experience that you also are seeking, that they can share resources with you to help you pursue the things that you're going through. Whereas a coach will hold me accountable for the things that I say I want to pursue, and then making sure that I am walking that out and I am putting action behind my words. So, two different individuals that end up being very catalytical in my purpose and in my walk. And it really helped out a lot. That ended up helping me because I ended up becoming an author through that, because I said, oh, wow, think maybe sharing my story of how I became to love myself after going through a divorce would help other people be able to love themselves when they find themselves with challenges. So my first book I actually authored ended up being a story just a glimpse of myself going through the divorce and going through the emotional journey that I had to go through. In this book here that I'm co-authoring, I'm actually sharing with you how to sustain, how to be more persistent, not to give up, even though you may still find yourself going through those challenges. And it's absolutely okay. But the key is you do not want to give up. You want to keep on pushing through the process of going through what it is that you're going through, because through that, you're going to experience growth in how you think. And then when you look back at yourself years from now, you're going to see that you're a total different person than where you were before. So again, that helped me develop my writing skills. I became an author. I continued to pursue my degree that helped define who I was, what I want to do in life. But then also, I found myself, wow, you know what? I had a really great friend that said, you know what? You should start a business and not give this information away for free. So I was like, okay. So I started making sure that I draw myself or I start looking for individuals who knew about what I wanted to do. And what better way than finding myself with the Women Speakers Association was one platform that I found some great resources, making some great connections, and just learning from other individuals. But then also, again, I started Lia Abney LLC. Through that, I started looking at some coaching programs that I could be a part of and just molding myself to gain those skills to be able to help people even more.
I love that. And I'm sure there's many people listening right now saying, "Oh boy, do I ever need you in my life?" Because you're right. It's that persistence to break through. And you seem to have really channeled that inner strength to do that. But some of us sometimes need a little bit help. So I love that that's the work that you're doing. So your friends gave you great advice to start a business in being able to share that information. But a great starting point, I think, would be getting a copy of your book. So where can we do that?
Absolutely. If you're looking to get a copy of the book and not only get a glimpse of my story, but other women's story as well to encourage you, you can visit Lia Abney, LLC.biz.
Okay, so that's Leah Abney, ABNEY LLC dot biz. Awesome. So
Yes.
great place to get a copy of your book. And also, I imagine it would make a great gift to really pass off to somebody if somebody that you know is maybe being just a little bit overwhelmed with all of life's stuff. So to have someone like you in their life, even if it's just those written words on the page, would be a great help. Great beginning.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, Leah, you are truly an inspiration. You have demonstrated just through your own life the the magic of just taking it day by day and persisting through. And I love your points about making sure that we have a mentor and a coach in our life. So are you suggesting those are two separate people?
There typically are two separate people, and guess what? You may have more than one mentor. You may have more than one coach. It is absolutely okay. For instance, I have a mentor, but I have two coaches. I have one that helps me with my health and fitness, and then I have one that's helping me with my business, and it's absolutely okay. And then I have some close circle friends that kind of, are my cheerleaders. I have two great friends that are my cheerleaders that kind of cheers me along. And having those individuals really helps me along the way when I find myself stuck. Because guess what? There's going to be, like I said, life happens, right? There are going to be times you're going to get stuck, and it's absolutely okay. The key is you don't want to stay there. There's so much inside of you that somebody else needs. And guess what? It will help them be encouraged to pursue their dreams.
Wow, beautiful words, beautiful statement, and you're absolutely right. So thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for sharing your personal story in this
Thank,
book, to give us a glimpse as to what motivates you and how you did it, and that even though we look at somebody and go, "Hey, they're living the perfect lifestyle," and but they've gone through it too. So I love that
absolutely.
you're so relatable, um, and would be an amazing coach or mentor to have for sure. So, Leah,
Well,
just
thank you
before
so
we,
much for having me.
well, I don't want to let you go right now. You have so many great things to say. I would love if you could leave us with a final message or any words of wisdom.
Sure. My final message for those who are watching, if you're listening, whatever you do, again, don't give up on your dreams, don't give up on your passions. Life does happen. However, when you find yourself stuck in those very difficult times, find some time to yourself. If you have to, one of the things that I do is I do mindfulness exercises, and it's just a play time for you to get quiet, to be in the here and now, to just feel whatever it is that you're feeling at that moment, taking some deep breaths. And one of the things I always say to everybody, and keep it moving.
Keep it moving. I love that. Dr. Leah Abney, thank you. Thank
Most
you.
welcome.
Thank you for everything. And thank you to our listeners who joined us today. Wherever you are in this world, we want to wish you a great day. Thank you.